Exploring the equator, Earth's invisible line. It's invisible, but it wraps around the planet like a belt. It's hot, humid, and full of life. This is the equator, Earth's imaginary line that does a lot more than just divide the globe in two. Today, we're going on a journey to discover what the equator really is, and why it's so important. What is the equator? The equator is an imaginary line that circles the Earth exactly halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole. It's located at 0 degrees latitude. If you split the Earth into a top and bottom half, the equator is the dividing line between the northern and southern hemispheres, but it's more than just a line on a map. Because of the Earth's shape and tilt, the equator plays a major role in the way our planet works, from climate and weather to time zones and day length. Sunlight and temperature. Here's something cool. The equator gets more direct sunlight than anywhere else on Earth. While other parts of the planet get sunlight at an angle, the equator faces the sun head-on almost all year round. That's why equatorial regions are typically hot and humid, with little variation in temperature throughout the year. Think of places like Ecuador, Indonesia, Brazil, and parts of Africa, all sitting right on or near the equator. Climate and rainforests. All that heat leads to another effect, intense rainfall. The constant warmth causes water to evaporate quickly, forming thick clouds and heavy rain almost daily. That's why some of the world's largest and most diverse rainforests, like the Amazon and the Congo, thrive near the equator. These regions are rich in biodiversity, home to countless species of plants, animals, and insects that can't be found anywhere else. Cultures and countries on the equator. Over a dozen countries are crossed by the equator. Each has its own unique culture, traditions, and ways of life, but they all share one thing in common: life near the middle of the Earth. In some places, like Quito, Ecuador, you can actually stand with one foot in the northern hemisphere and one in the southern. Talk about being in two places at once. Strange effects at the equator. There are also some fascinating myths and truths about the equator. For example, have you heard that water drains in different directions depending on which side of the equator you're on? That's called the Coriolis effect, but it's so weak that it doesn't actually affect small things like toilets or sinks. However, it does influence weather systems and ocean currents, which is why hurricanes spin in different directions in the northern and southern hemispheres. Day length and season. Another fun fact: if you live near the equator, your days and nights are almost always the same length, about 12 hours each. That's because the tilt of the Earth doesn't affect equatorial regions as much as it does the poles. This means no long summer days or dark winter nights, just consistent sunshine all year round. Why it matters. From shaping our climate to supporting rainforests and influencing culture, the equator is much more than a line, it's a lifeline for the planet. Now that you've discovered it, you'll never look at a globe the same way again. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed learning with us. Until next time, stay curious.